Shalom, shalom, Yasharael, Syra, Yah Israel, coming at you with another one. You know what I'm saying? Shalom. I haven't really been putting videos up too tough lately. I've been in them scrolls, hitting it hard and heavy. You know what I'm saying? I want to start off today by saying, Barak, Yahawah, Kal Halala, Yahawah, Bara, Wa, Rakaya, Ha'aretz, Wa, Shemayim. This is a response video to what's his name? It's to S.O.T.NEO Saints, you know. So he made a video talking about the Torah nights and how we be lying, you know. So basically he basically just lying on the nights and trying to say that we liars, you know, with his idol phallic worshiping, you know. So we're gonna get into this video, cut him up real quick, you know, and just bring this truth out. May Yahawah be with us in the spirit, mind, body, soul, you know. Barak Yahawah. Let's get it. Yeah, Proverbs 4:20. All right. He said, my child, be attentive to my speech. Incline your ear to my word. Let them not depart from your eyelids. Guard them within your heart. For they are life to those who find it, and healing to all flesh. Talk about this Torah. He said, more than you guard anything, safeguard your heart. See, for from it are sources of life. See, so put this Torah in your heart, and the sources of life in this Torah. He say, remove from yourself distortion of mouth. See, so don't be lying. He say, and distance perversity from your lips. For from yourself let you look ahead, and your eyelids will direct your paths. He say, weigh the course of your foot. See, so we have to walk in this Torah. He say, and all your ways will be established. Do not deviate right or left. Remove your foot from evil. See, so we have to walk in righteousness and walk in this Torah. We got another verse to bring out real quick. It's Proverbs 22, verse 17. Say, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise. Set your heart to my knowledge, for it is pleasant if you guard them in your innards and establish them upon your lips. Lest you trust, he said, let your trust remain with Yahawah. I have made this known to you today. You also, surely I have written for you in the Torah extremely noble things with counsel and knowledge. So he says, surely I have written for you in the Torah extremely noble things, right? So Most High telling you, he say, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise. Set your heart to my knowledge, to the Most High's Torah, right? Establish it in your inward part. So we're going to build up this inner man, right? We got to establish this Torah in our hearts, minds, and in our soul, right? And we have to walk in it, all right? So with that, let's get to this video, man. All right, y'all, I just wanted to say shalak about that. Didn't mean to go off subject. Just wanted to bring up a couple Torah verses real quick before we got into destroying S.O.T.NEO saints. But we about to go ahead and jump right into the video, y'all. All right, let's get it. You know,
and bent out of shape. They mad because we exposing how they be lying. All right. And before I was getting on the Torah nights and Chris Harris, and as we was doing our chats online, I found out that Chris Harris is a liar, man. He just comes with lies and treachery, and he tries to like make people think like you stupid. We studied dudes. We not like dudes that was just sitting on our hands over the years.
this brother keep making all these false accusations about the Torah nights. He really don't know us like that for real. He only know what people put online. He don't know how we live and he don't know how we dress. Because I haven't seen no Torah nights in suits and ties yet. But if they did, we in America, that's the clothes that we have right now, until we get established into wearing the other attires. But some of us, may not, be in the position to where we can go and get that type of clothing at the moment, you know. So we may be stuck with the attire we in. So it's all about right now. We're mainly dealing with trying to get the spirit right. You know what I'm saying? But I wanna go to this verse to remind the brother. It's Exodus. Because I like to go back to the foundation. So Exodus 12 say, Exodus 13 say, you shall not kill, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not what? You shall not bear false witness against thy fellow. See? So you can't be out here just bearing false witness against your brothers just because you're not in the same doctrine as them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, be in truth, and the chips gonna fall where they may, and Yahawah word will stand. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna let Yahawah show this truth. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we're gonna get back to this video.
You could run game on some people, but Chris Harris, you a liar. All right? And I'ma just say it like it is. And they up on my page talking about like we afraid to debate them on debate talk for you and all this crap. It's a waste of time in technically debating you guys because y'all done been destroyed so many times. Over and over, I have watched them get cut to death by other gospel teachers. And you got foolish men that believe their lies. Like he came out with some flunky guy on the chat box named Tratel Azariah Thomas. And he's being deceived. All right? He's being deceived by Chris Harris. And Judah Nasara, he's another one that be deceiving brothers and sisters out there. You find them all along the two. So he was trying to say this scripture right.
One thing you should pay attention to, is watch how dude, he gonna do a lot of talking, but he gonna barely bring out scriptures. And then the scriptures he bring out gonna have nothing to do with really what he talking about in reality, you know. So let's get back to the video.
Shall mourn for him. Who's the him? They mourning for Christ.
We gotta go back to Exodus 20 real quick because this dude keep talking about Christ, and I just don't think that's what the Torah says. So let's go to the Exodus 20. Check it out. He say, God spoke all these statements, saying, I am Yahawah, your God, who have taken you out of the land of Egypt from the house of slavery. He said, you shall not recognize gods of others in my presence. You shall not make yourself a carved image, nor any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or the earth below, or the water beneath the earth. You shall not prostrate yourself to them, nor worship them. For I am Yahawah your God, a jealous God, who visits the sin of the fathers upon the children to the third and the fourth generations, for my enemies, but who shows kindness for the thousands of generations of those who love me and keep and observe my commandments, right? So first of all, you know what I'm saying, you got to see that he said, for I am Yahawah your God, right? So that is not Christ, all right? It's Yahawah, your Yahawah, right? But hold on real quick. I'm gonna show you something else. All right, we on here. Here we go. Exodus 3:15. And God said further to Moses, "You shall say to the children of Israel, Yahawah, the God of your forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has dispatched me to you. This is my name forever, and my remembrance from generation to generation." All right, look. So he said, so you shall say to the children of Israel, Yahawah, the God of your forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is my name forever, right? So when we go over here, yeah, you see it. You know what I'm saying? Say, Al Banah, Yashara'el, Yahawah, Allahayah, right? So you see clearly that Yahawah is his name. It's not Hashem, it's Yahawah. That's Yashara'el, Yahawah, Allahayah, right? So we know clearly his name is Yahawah, all right? And that's not Christ. Yahawah is not Christ, right? Now, I don't know how big people is on definitions these days, but right here, I'm going to show you the word forever. You know what I'm saying? It means, for all future time, for always, always, continually, constantly, perpetually, you know what I'm saying? Incessantly, endlessly, persistently, repeatedly, regularly, you know what I'm saying? Forever, right? So that's your definition for forever, right? Permanent, pretty much. Lasting or permanent, all right? Well, this word comes from the Hebrew word olam, right? Which means pretty much forever, eternity. All right, let's go to the dictionary. All right, here we go. See, it's 5769 in Strong's Hebrew Dictionary. The word olam, right? Which means, you know, eternity, always, ancient, anymore, continuous, eternal, everlasting, of old, lasting, long time, perpetual, without end, right? So that's olam, the word olam. And you see right there is forever, for you ever, lasting, more, of old, ever, forever, right? So it's the same thing. But you know what I'm saying? This is where your word forever comes from, olam. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you a little bit more research. Because I don't think people know what forever means, because the Most High said, this will be my name. See, the Most High said, this will be my name forever, for all generations, right? So obviously people don't understand what these definitions are, because they changed Yahawah to Christ when he told you, this will be my name forever, for all generations. So the definition of generation of all the people born and living at about the same time, regularly, regarded collectively, right? So it's like age group, period. People of the same generation, right? Creation, production, initiation, organization, inception, inspiration, methods of electricity, generation, the producing of something. All right. So now that we have the definition of forever and generations, you know what I'm saying? When the Most High told you that this will be my name forever for all generations, Yahawah, Yahawah is his name. Barak Yahawah, man. But now people trying to change Yahawah to Christ. All right. Now the Hebrew Strong's definition for generation, right? It's Todah. If I could focus in, see, Toladah. Only, decent, family, generations, birth, his history, birth, generations. You see that? So here is your Christ, right? The title, also treated as a name given to Jesus of Nazareth. See Jesus, an oath used to express irritation, dismay, or surprise. Christ's definition, a title by which Christ refers to Jesus. The word is Greek translation of the Hebrew Messiah, meaning the anointed one, the New Dictionary of Cultural Literacy. See, so you see that, right? That the Greeks, you know what I'm saying, or the Christians refer to Jesus as Christ, right? It's a Greek thing. See, but the Hebrew meaning is Messiah, the anointed one. All right. All right. In your Strong's dictionary, right? This is the Greek concordance, right? 5547, Christos. See, short definition. Anointed one, Messiah, the Christ, definition. Anointed one, the Messiah, Christ. See, Christos. So it comes from the Hebrew definition of Messiah. We're going to go there. All right, now we're in the Strong's Hebrew Concordance. 4899, Mashayak, right? Anointed, consecrated person, king, priest, saint, the Messiah, anointed Messiah, right? From 4886, let's go there. 4886, Mashak, right? To rub with oil, anointed, to consecrate, also paint, anoint, paint. See, anoint. It's the anointed one.
Israel will mourn for Christ as one mourning for his only son. So it's giving you a key scriptures. All you got to do is read Hebrews 1 and 3, Hebrews 1 and 5, Hebrews 5 and 5. And shall be in bitterness for his firstborn. His firstborn is talking about Yahawah. All those scriptures I just gave you point to that. Yahawah is the firstborn of the fall.
I see what bewows me, right, is they want to say that we deceivers, but the whole time, you know what I'm saying, Yahawah said that he is achad, he is alone. There's no other besides him. And this is forever, for all generations. And I showed you the definitions, right? So now, tell me, how is Christ taking Yahweh's position? You know what I'm saying? This is a tragedy in Israel. You know what I'm saying? We cannot allow this deception to continue amongst our people. You know what I'm saying, brother? Look, I'm going to show you that Christ or Yahawah, no other than Jesus' penis is, you know what I'm saying, not the firstborn son. You know what I'm saying? But see, I'm going to show you with scriptures. We're going to go to Exodus 4:22 for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? So get ready for the scripture for you right quick. Exodus 4:22. Here we go. Exodus 4:22. And it reads, it say, you shall say unto Pharaoh, so said Yahawah, my firstborn son is who? What that say? Can you read it? Israel, man. Say, you shall say unto Pharaoh, so says Yahawah, right? So not so says Russell, not so says Ira, you know, not so says Chris, not so says Judah, not so says Traytel, but it said, so says Yahawah, my firstborn son is Israel, right? He say, I say to you, send out my son that he may serve me. See? is the firstborn son. It's not Jesus' penis, cuz, not Christ. Sorry to tell you, but this truth have to be revealed. All right? The Torah will stand forever.
John 3:16. Now,
Oh no, you don't want to go to that John 3:16. Let's go there though. It says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." All right. So to deal with this verse right here, you know what I'm saying? We got a couple verses we're gonna bring out, but we're gonna start off with that Proverbs 30 and 4. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be honest. We just seen that his firstborn son was Israel. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go to this Proverbs 30 and 4. Let's get it. It says, "Who but Moses ascended to heaven and descended? Who else gathered the wind in his palm? Who else tied the waters in a cloak? Who established the ends of the earth? What is his name? What is his son's name, if you know?" Every word, Yahawah, every word of God is refined. He is a shield to those who trust in him. Do not add to his words, lest he test you and find that you deceived. Right? So he says, who but Moses? Right? Say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. We know Israel is his son. Right? He said, but who but Moses? Who but Moses ascended to the heaven and descended? Right? Who gathered the wind in his palm? Who else tied the waters in a cloak and established the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name? Yahawah is his name. He told you that. This is his name for all generations, forever. But you refuse. Man, how did y'all change the whole nation of Israel to this one dude, Christ, man? Like, y'all don't see this deception in that? Like, come on, man. If he told you that Israel is my firstborn son, Israel is a nation of peoples, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. All right, let's go to, we're in the book of Hosea 11 and 1. Chapter 11, verse 1. Say, when Israel was a lad, I loved her. And since Egypt, since Egypt, I have been calling him. Say, since Egypt, I have been calling out to my son. All right, see. Now remember in Exodus 4:22, he said, Israel is my firstborn son. And now, again, in Hosea 11:1, he say, when Israel was a lad, I loved him. And since Egypt, I have been calling out to my son. See, once again, he's calling Israel his son. So he's representing this whole nation as his son, right? It's not Christ, dog, but it's the nation of Israel, right? Killing you. And then we done brought these definitions out for you too, cuz. So you see that Christ is only the Greek meaning for, you know what I'm saying, Christos, Greek meaning for Messiah in the Hebrew, where they got it from. You know what I mean? Read to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse 1. Oh, matter of fact, we're going to start at 7, chapter 7, verse 72. The Kohanim and the Levites and the gatekeepers and the singers and some of the people of the Nethanim and all of Israel settled in their cities. The 7th month arrived, and the children of Israel will settle in their cities. See, so with that, we know that we're talking about Israel, the children of Israel. See there? Verse 1, chapter 8, verse 1. Then all the people gathered together as one man. See, so we see that Israel gathered together as one man. Again, at the plaza before the water gate, and they asked Ezra, the scholar, to bring the scroll of the Torah of Moses, which Yahawah had commanded Israel. So they gathered together as one man, right? As one man, just like, you know what I'm saying, chapter 11, verse 1. And then you take that back to Exodus 4:22, right? So we see that Israel is the son. It's not no Jeebus penis or no Christos, right? I mean, that's not even Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? That's Greek. Christ, Christos, Jeebus penis. Come on now. Let's get it together, y'all. We don't need to be stuck in this folly and deceiving our people. We bringing out this truth. And you want to, you know what I'm saying? And you want to sit there and bear false witness against us Torah Knights who's out here bringing. See, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. Because I know we going to have mad haters because we out here bringing out this truth, tearing down the deception out here that these Christians got up. You know what I'm saying? We tearing it all down. All these false idols and temples that they setting up. The Knights, we out here tearing all that down, cuz. So y'all better recognize we going to keep up. We going to keep tearing it down. Every time y'all trying to build something up, we going to tear it right back down. Keep smashing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Cutting y'all heads off with this Torah blade. To follow.
Is King Josiah the firstborn? I messed up. I didn't put S in there. Is King Josiah the firstborn? No, he's not. He's not. It's not talking about King Josiah. But yet,
All right, he keep talking about King Josiah going there, talking about him being pierced or whatever. But we're gonna go to it and we're gonna read it. Look. He say, Necho sent messengers to him saying, what is there between me and you, O King of Judah? It is not against you that I advance, but to the sight of my war, and God has told me to hurry, refrain from provoking God who is with me, so that he does not destroy you. See, this is Necho talking to Josiah. 22, but Josiah would not turn to his attention. He said Josiah will not turn his attention away from him, but rather he disguised himself to go to war against him. He did not heed the words of Necho from God's mouth. See, and he came to make war in the valley of Megiddo. The archers shot King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, remove me, for I am gravely wounded. All right. And it's because he didn't heed the words of Necho, you know what I'm saying, coming from the words of Necho. It was actually the words of Yahawah, though, is why he was killed. He said, the king said to his servants, remove me, for I am greatly wounded. His servants removed him from the chariot and drove him in his second chariot, and they brought him to Jerusalem. He died and was buried in the graves of his forefathers. All of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, shallah about that, but it says all of Judah and Jerusalem mourn over him, right? All of Judah and Jerusalem mourn over Josiah. Jeremiah lamentated over Josiah. All the men and women singers mention Josiah in their lamentations until this day. They made these dirges a form of custom in Israel, and behold, they are inscribed in their lamentations, right? So, you know, they did mourn over Josiah, and he was cut or stabbed by, you know, the arrow, all right? But we're gonna go to Kings. We finna back Chris up. Actually, we're gonna back Chris up. All right. All right. We're in the book of Kings. It's the second book, chapter. It's the second book of Kings. All right, the 23rd chapter, verse 30. All right. And it says, his servants drove him dead from Megiddo in the chariot, brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his grave. The common people took Yoahaz, his son of Josiah, anointed him and crowned him king in place of his father. See, so they was not talking about no Christ nowhere in Chronicles or over here in Kings. Like I was saying, y'all refuse to follow this truth. Y'all refuse to follow this Torah, the word of Yahawah. All right, but we're going to go to Isaiah 41 and 8. Check this out. And it says, "But you, O Israel, my servant, Jacob, you whom I have chosen," right? "Offspring of Abraham, who love me," right? "Whom I shall grasp from the ends of the earth, and shall summon from among all the noblemen, and to whom I shall say, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not rejected you." See? So, "But you, O Israel, my servant," this is Yahweh's word, right? "You, Jacob, you whom I have chosen," right? "Offspring of Abraham, who loved me. You whom I shall grasp from the ends of the earth, and shall summon from among all its noblemen, and to whom I shall say, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not rejected you." See, this is the word of Yahawah, man. Talking to Yashara'el, right? This is not the no Christ, cuz. This is not the Christ.
When King Josiah got pierced with an arrow, that got nothing to do with this scripture right here. All right. All these other scriptures that I gave you all point to Christ.
See, they like to always say that everything is pointing to Christ from the Old Testament. And as you see, we brought the definitions out. Christos is Greek. We show Messiah. That come from the Hebrew word Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna keep cutting their heads off right now. He went to that John 3:16. So we had to chop that up. But we're gonna go over here, what I'm saying, to John 1:1. He keep talking about King Josiah and getting pierced with the arrow, not realizing that this Christ idol is just an idol. We worship Yahawah achad. We don't worship no one else but Yahawah achad. So, what I'm saying, with that, we just gonna go ahead and get right into it. But also remember, in Matthew, I think it was the book of Matthew, that so-called Jesus, what I'm saying, he said, but even though, it's actually the words of the teacher of righteousness that they took and copied from, and, made the Paul and all that. But realize he said, there's no, why do you call me good? There's none good but the Father in heaven. So even your JC said, there's none good but the Father in heaven. Talking about talking about Yahawah. And it's real messed up, because it's like no matter how much we show like the same people almost over and over, because they know they watching our videos, but we showing them over and over, with research and books and what I'm saying, just all type of history. We showing them in truth, that Yahawah is alone. No one, he never sent anyone else in his name, what I'm saying, as far as his son, calling him Christos, what I'm saying? That just didn't happen. Yahawah told you, he said, this is my name for all generations. You know what I'm saying? Forever. We brought these definitions out, man. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, these Christians, they just keep, what I'm saying? It's like we showing them with reproof that they worship phallac, you know what I'm saying, idol demons, and they just show themselves to be demons. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the reproof that we bring and show them, like they steady go to that Isaiah 53, knowing, you know what I'm saying, it's not no Christ there, period. You don't see it there. You know what I'm saying? And when you go up verses, like what, Isaiah 51 and 52, I think it's Isaiah 51, though, but he show you in that verse that he's talking about Israel, you know what I'm saying, as one man. You know, and you can back that up with Hosea. We brought it out, you know, Nehemiah, you know, it's verses that back this up. So it's not a claim, you know what I'm saying? But with that, you know, we going to get to this John 1:1, because they keep trying to say that this freaking Christ or Christos, you know what I'm saying, is the son of Yahawah, but Yahawah never said this. All right, we're going to get to it. We at John 1:1. Say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, right? See, when I was in church as a kid, I remember my preacher used to always go to this verse talking about Christ, you know. But verse 2 it say, the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. All right, we're going to start right there at 5, right? But remember he said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. And they try to say that that's Christ. They always try to say that's Christ, because they say everything is Christ. It's crazy. But all right, let me show you something. Let's go to Proverbs. All right, we're in Proverbs chapter 8. Look at verse 12 right here. It say, I am wisdom. I dwell in cleverness. I provide knowledge of designs. Fear of Yahawah is hatred of evil. I hate pride and haughtiness, the way of evil, and a duplicitous mouth. With me there is counsel and wisdom. I am understanding. With me is might. Right? So see that what it say? It said, I am wisdom. So we talking about wisdom right now. Right? So when John said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, clearly right here we see I am wisdom. Now let me show you something. Verse 22. Look, Yahawah made me as the beginning of his way, right? So Yah made wisdom as the beginning of his way. Before his deeds of yore have reigned, he say, I have reigned for all time, from the beginning, from before there was the earth, right? When there was no depths, I was formed, right? When there was no pools rich with water, before mountains were settled, before the hills, I was formed. When he had not yet made the earth and it environs, or the first dust of the inhabited world, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he etched out the globe upon the face. All right, verse 26 say, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he etched out the globe upon the face of the depths, when he strengthened the heavens above, and the waters will not transgress his word, when he forged the foundations before him at all times, playing in the inhabited areas of his earth. My delights are with the sons of men. All right? So in the beginning, wisdom was with Yahawah. Wisdom, right? See? So Because in verse 12 he say, I am wisdom, right? So we verified who we talking about. So this is connecting right here with that John 1:1, right? In the beginning, the word was with God and the word was God. See, wisdom was with Yahawah. All right. So with that, we're going to play this little video a little bit more. All right.
Go into the computer and Google Old Testament scriptures about Christ. All right. And when you Google that, it's going to give you a whole listing of scriptures about Christ. And these things are brought forth by scholars. All right. They was brought forth by scholars. And a lot of these scholars don't even believe in Christ that wrote this stuff.
All right. So as you can see, dude is just talking. He being a Christian, just running and running, He ain't even in them scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go to Proverbs real quick, hit a couple scriptures, then we're going to go back to the video and let this demon speak for a little bit more and chop his head off a little more.
When you search for Zechariah in the scriptures, you'll find out that Zechariah is centuries after Chronicles have been written. All right? It's centuries after Chronicles have been written. It's not right during the time of hold up, give me just a second, brothers and sisters.
He keep talking about Zechariah now. So we're going to go on to Zechariah chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, I will pour out upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplications. They will look toward me because of those whom they have stabbed. They will mourn over him as one mourns over an only child, and be embittered over him like the embitterment over the deceased firstborn. All right. Now we read in Kings, where they mourn over King Josiah, So, it do look kind of like important at Josiah, because we also read in Chronicles and that link with Kings, and now this Zechariah in this Torah, in this Tanakh book that I have, it actually it's actually before Chronicles, It's actually before Chronicles. It's different from the King James. So your King James may be off a little bit, buddy, but it all links together, man, through the precepts, So, sorry to say it, but it looks like it's pointing more towards King Josiah versus this angelic phallic demon Christ. Sorry. But the truth is the truth, player. The Torah will stand.
Zechariah 12:10 is future prophecy about Christ.
We had Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. It says, Then he showed me Yeshua, the Kohen Gadol, standing before the angel of Yahawah, and Satan the Satan was standing at his right hand to accuse him. See that? The angel of Yahawah said to Satan, May Yahawah denounce you, O Satan. May Yahawah who chose Jerusalem denounce you. Indeed, this man is like a fire, brand from a fire. But Yeshua was dressed in filthy garments as he stood before the angel. The angel spoke up and spoke to these standing before him, saying, Remove the filthy garments from upon him. Then he said to Yeshua, See, I have removed your iniquity from upon you, and dressed you with clean attire. Then I said, Let them put a pure turban on his head. So they put a pure turban on his head, and they dressed him in clean garments, while the angel of Yahawah remained standing. And the angel of Yahawah then warned Joshua, saying, Thus says Yahawah, Master of Legions, if you go in my ways, and if you safeguard my watch, then shall I, and safeguard my watch, and you also administer my temple, and you will also guard my courtyards, then I will grant you strides among these angels who stand here. All right? He said, Listen, O Yahshua, Kohen Gadol, you and your companions who are sitting before you, for they are men worthy of a miracle. Behold, I am bringing my servant Zamah, the flourishing one. For behold, the fountain stone I have placed before Yahshua, 7 eyes toward one stone. Behold, I am engraving its endowment, the word of Yahawah, Master of Legions. I will remove the iniquity of that land on one day. On that day, the word of Yahawah, Master of Legions, each man will invite his fellow beneath the vine and beneath the fig tree. See that? So, as you can see, there still is no Christ. You know what I'm saying? It's Yahawah Shah, player, the teacher of righteousness, right?
And all these guys proclaim to be Torah and Tanakh priests in the Old Testament. But then when you find out, you look at how they live in their life, they up there wearing suits and ties. They white man suits and ties. All right, that's some New Testament stuff. You want to be honest.
I know you can see. Tell me, how you trying to teach your King James? Because you know you ain't got no Torah. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see in the difference of how it read when I read the verses that you read and I'm reading my Tanakh, right? So knowing that you don't have a Torah, I can say this confidently. You know what I'm saying? You out here trying to teach your King James, you know, and I have this King James over here also. And in that King James, it says, do not bear false witness against your brother. And here you go again, bearing false witness. What tour night you done seen in a suit and tie? We out here trying to get garments together, all praises to the Most High. You know, Thawadah to Trey Tail and his wife. They doing a wonderful thing in Israel. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I still haven't seen a night in a suit and tie. I mean, we don't get down like that, really. Or like if your job or you handling some type of business, you know, you may be in a suit and tie, you know, because that's the attire in America, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, we know to wear if we're doing some sort of business or your job may cause you to wear it, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, just like hanging out or doing your own thing, you ain't finna see no nights in no suit and ties. We don't really like ties. You know what I'm saying? We know what this stuff represents, you know. So with that, you know, just don't bear false witness because you really don't know. Because you know, I don't know who rocking suits and ties. I just know I don't, you know. So we follow this tour, you know what I'm saying, to the best of our abilities, you know, and we study this tour day and night, you know, and we try to share this information with our brother, you know. And we doing it in truth, you know. We not following in the lies like everyone else. All praises to the Most High. By the rock Yahawah, Hallelujah Yahawah, you know. So we gonna get back to the video and cut him up some more, cause that's all we doing is chopping him up, you know.
Because brothers in the New Testament, we able to flex in and out. Sometimes you have to square up.
Oh man, look at this. I got this Stones edition tonight, right? Check this out, right? It's a Stones edition. Now, I just, for the life of me, I cannot find a freaking New Testament, man. Like, somebody, can you help me? Because in this Tanakh, I just cannot find one. Let me see here. Let's go through this whole little thing with Jeremiah. We just passed Zechariah. You see that? Proverbs, Psalms, Job. Daniel, Black Bear, Ezra, Nehemiah, Chronicles. We get Chronicles at the back of the book, right? Second Chronicles in the end. Oh my God. You see this, y'all? Ain't no New Testament. What the world is going on? There's no New Testament in the Tanakh.
Anyway, so these guys again are enemies of Christ and enemies of the gospel.
He say that we enemies of Christ and enemies of Christ's gospel, right? So in reality, he's telling the truth, because if you're a knight, you are a antichrist, because we don't follow no Christ. We follow Yahawah alone, right? So yeah, you're right on that. And we don't follow Paul's false gospel. We follow the true, you know what I'm saying? The truth. We follow the Torah. You know what I'm saying? The books of Moses and the prophet books. And we believe in Yahawah as a man who taught the Torah to a congregation of peoples. You know what I'm saying? There was plenty messiahs, not just one, And the congregation, we came together as one man in the congregation. We was in unison, and our praises to the Most High Yahawah in our everyday living and how we walked, because we walked in the Torah. Therefore, we could be a light to the peoples, to the Gentiles, to the nations, right? That's why we so far off today, because people like you being demons talk about Jeebus penis. All right? So we're going to get back to the video. Just want to say that real quick.
So I was going more into scripture. All right. Amos 5:15. Hate the evil and love the good. All right. Hate the evil. The scriptures say hate the evil and love the good. All right. A lot of people that's on YouTube, what they doing, they start to fall into the hands of all these liars.
We gonna hit this Amos verse up, because he ain't hit it up. He just talking about it. Talking about Amos 5:15. Hate the evil, love the good. And that's true. You do hate the evil and love the good, but you gotta know what's going on. All right. So we're gonna start at verse 10. It's Amos 5 verse 10 says, "Despise the one who admonishes by the gate, and the one who speaks purely they detest. Therefore, because you trample upon the poor," see, you trample upon the poor, "and exact burden of grain from him, you have built houses of hewn stone, but you will not dwell in them. You have planted the life of vineyards, many, but you will not drink their wine. For I know that your transgressions are many and your sins are substantial, O oppressors of the righteous person." See? So he talking to the oppressors of the righteous person. He say, takers of ransom, who distort the justice of the destitute by the gate. Therefore, the prudent man keeps silent at that time, for it is a time of evil. Seek good and not evil. See there? That you may live, and Yahawah, God of legions, will indeed be with you, as you said. Despise evil and love good, and establish justice by the gate. Then perhaps Yahawah, God of legions, will grant favor to the raiment of Joseph. See there? So no matter what angle you try to come at, man, you're not finna find no Christ, player. I'm sorry. He talking to the house of Israel, every single time. The whole congregation come together as one man.
And they trying to go backwards. They are backwards people. All right. They love Judas Nazareth and these people because they teaching lies to the people. How you going to go back to something that we already broke? It told you that in the New Testament.
See, so by not following this New Testament, they saying we're going backwards. But I showed you in this Torah, it's no New Testament. So, it's just what it is, There's no New Testament. You got letters of Paul, letters that he wrote to churches, and he's a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? Acts 21, Romans 3, I think 3:3 or 3:11, when he admitted that he lied. But check this out, right? It says, we at Joel, we're going to start at verse 12 over here. It says, even now, the word of Yahawah, return to me with all your heart, right? With fasting and weeping and with lamentation. So the Most High, he's telling you, he say, return back to me, right? And then remember in Proverbs, he said, don't forget my Torah. So he's telling us to return back to his Torah. Return back to his instruction, right? But you want to go to Paul's letters. You want to go to the demon and be a demon. We trying to bring people to the truth, and you calling us liars, bearing false witness, because we teach the truth and bring the truth out and share the truth. All right? All right, so we're going to get back and show a little bit more of this demon video, and we're going to end it out. All right.
All right. When you go against Yahawah the Christ, all right, and you got demons like Judah, Nazareth up there disrespecting Christ, all right, and saying all types of blasphemy. All right. Then he got this other guy, Negi Springfield. All right. Some nerd anime dude. That's the guy with the Dragon Ball Z shirt. He talking about just listen and learn. Nobody listen and learning your garbage, Negi. All right. Paul. He called Paul a Greek demon, and he's promoting the gospel of Bashar. When you look up the gospel of Bashar, it's some thing they concocted out of the Old Testament.
Now, since he say Bashar is something that we just concocted, right? It's just something we just came up with, just concocted out the blue. So I'm going to go to the Strong's Hebrew Dictionary, and I'm going to show you. All right, Bashar. Right there. 1319, right? To announce, glad news, messenger, preach, public, show forth, bearing, bring, carry, preach, good, tell good tidings. Bashar, right? 1320, right? Body, person, also, uh, body, fat, lean, fresh, of flesh, kind, nakedness, self, skin. See? So it's in the Hebrew dictionary. So I don't see how we just concocted it out the blue. You know what I'm saying? He's steady bearing false witness, so we're going to steady cut him up, you know? But the video's getting long, so I'm going to get ready and shut it down, But I just wanted to bring this out, you know what I'm saying, to show how when these Christians come and try to come against us, how they just come with lies. They're not reading scriptures, you know what I'm saying? They're not scriptural, you know what I'm saying? They just run and talk, you know? But with that, I like to say, Barak Yahawah, Halalal Yahawah, achad.
And they trying to connect it to the New Testament gospel. It's like they trying to say that you don't need the New Testament because the gospel is already found in the Old Testament.
So actually, he was kind of right about that also. But we just killed this cat, you know what I'm saying? Uh, we went through the definitions, you know what I'm saying? We got forever for you, so you should understand what the definition of forever is. Generations, what? The car is pierced or stabbed, you know what I'm saying? Pierced through or to pierce, you know. So yeah, we went through this definitions. We got Christos and Messiah. We established the difference for you. Next time I do a video, I probably distinguish between the teacher of righteousness and the Christ, But I got another video I also meant to put up before even doing this video, so I'm gonna do that one first, talking about cleavers, and then I'm gonna come back with the next one. You know, I'm trying to do these videos while I'm still doing this Dead Sea Scrolls, so work with me, y'all. With that, I want to say, Barak Yahawah, Halalal Yahawah, achad, Shalom.